Dan Sherry, Wayne. I'm just going to pass out a couple of documents that I'll be referring to during my presentation tonight. It's a quote from Elaine Paul Schaefer on the January 3rd, 2017 meeting, as well as some documents from the University of Pennsylvania's website. And the reason why I'm addressing this, this is a topic that I've been discussing since early January, and that is Elaine Paul Schaefer's participation in the parcel of land located at 145 King of Prussia Road that is presently owned by the trustees of the University of Pennsylvania. I brought up at the January 3rd, 2015 meeting that Elaine Paul Schaefer routinely recuses herself on matters involving Villanova University, but has been involved with votes regarding this parcel even after its shift in ownership from Biomed to the trustees of the University of Pennsylvania. And I'm very curious as to why that's occurring. In fact, tonight we had an example of Elaine Paul Schaefer recusing herself from a vote on something that had absolutely nothing to do with athletics, which was the vote just 3 minutes ago. And she didn't, again, announce the rationale until I brought that up. Elaine Paul Schaefer's assertion as to why she can vote on issues involving Penn was stated very clearly by her at the January 3rd, 2017 meeting. And this is what she said, and it's in the first packet that I passed out. There is no conflict because my husband sells to the sports team, and the sports team and the university athletic department does not have anything to do and is a wholly separate entity than is the trustees that own the property. That's what Elaine Paul Schaefer said. Now, subsequent to that, that was very odd to me, that a university like Penn would somehow have its athletic department and its sports team wholly separate, to use Elaine Paul Schaefer's words, from the trustees. So I went on their website to find out how suppliers like Longstreth Sporting Goods, that's Elaine Paul Schaefer's husband's company, how suppliers interface with Penn. And in the second set of documents that I passed up, it actually states what are called terms and conditions. And this is the language that's in there. The following terms and conditions, together with such terms as are set forth in the purchase order form, with such plans, specifications, or other documents as are incorporated by reference, as amended in any subsequent authorized writing from the buyer, shall constitute the entire contract between the trustees of the University of Pennsylvania, buyer, and supplier. Okay, so then I go on the website and find out whether or not Longstreth Sporting Goods is a supplier. And in the third set of documents that I passed up to you all, you'll see, and I've highlighted it, they are. So what I've been asking about for the past roughly 2 months is, does Longstreth Sporting Goods do business with the trustees of the University of Pennsylvania? Because if they do, that is demonstrably inconsistent with what Elaine Paul Schaefer has stated in public. I've gotten really nothing back so far, other than at least one commissioner stating that Elaine Paul Schaefer should be complying with a resolution that obligates full disclosure of any arguable apparent conflict of interest, which Elaine Paul Schaefer clearly believes she has at least an arguable apparent conflict of interest. She stated she's gone to the Commonwealth as well as the solicitor. And so far, this commissioner, Commissioner Booker, it appears has not gotten that information from Elaine Paul Schaefer. What I believe
Mr. Sherry, you're at 4 minutes. I'm just giving you a warning for 1 more minute.
I'm timing you. Don't worry. It's okay. What I think would be appropriate to do at this point, because the idea that Elaine Paul Schaefer would comply with this resolution was pretty much shot down by Elaine Paul Schaefer herself at the last meeting. When that resolution was brought up, Elaine Paul Schaefer started talking about, oh, this is totally unworkable, and should we rescind this? She doesn't want to comply with that resolution. I think that's a real problem for this township. But there is a way for her to rapidly comply with it, and that is signing an affidavit, actually putting sworn testimony into the public saying, under the penalty of perjury, I've conducted due diligence. And through that due diligence, I have learned that Longstreth Sporting Goods has no contracts with the trustees of the University of Pennsylvania, has no business relationships with the trustees of the University of Pennsylvania. and hasn't for at least the past 2 years, since it's been
Mr. Sherry, it's
approximately
been 5
a year
minutes.
and a
If you
half.
could wrap up now, we'd really
Since it's
appreciate
been,
it.
I'm sure you would appreciate it, for at least the past year and a half that the trustees have owned that parcel. Because once Elaine Paul Schaefer actually puts pen to paper and states that under penalty of perjury, then I think members of the public would feel that, okay, she's at least putting this out there with some hammer behind it, some teeth. And to sign a simple affidavit like that should be no problem for Elaine Paul Schaefer. She said at the last meeting she is 110% confident that she can vote. That's more due diligence than anyone could do. I can say with 110% confidence, I do no business with the trustees of the University of Pennsylvania. I would ask members of this board to hold Elaine Paul Schaefer to that public commitment, have her sign an affidavit under penalty of perjury that she did due diligence with Longstreth, and learn that they do no business with the trustees of the University of Pennsylvania. Clear up that discrepancy that appears to exist
Mr. Sherry,
between
it's been
Penn
6 minutes.
and Villanova.
You need to sit down.
Thank you very much. Mr. Booker, did you have a quick
Is
question?
there anybody else that would like to
Madam Chair, would you sign such an affidavit?
I have cleared it with the State Ethics Commission, with our own solicitor. I do not have a conflict. I have a written opinion from both
Can
of
I get a
them.
copy of that opinion, or the concern
I've
being is
given
that you
you-
didn't
I've given you and every
didn't
member of this
fully
board
apprise
a
the
summary
state
of
of
that
all
opinion.
of the facts in the
My
circumstances.
husband's company is a private company, and those opinions have numbers
Point
in
of
them that
order,
are not
this
public.
is not on tonight's agenda in any way, shape,
All right,
or
we'll
form.
bring
Well, it was on the agenda for executive session, and we moved it, so
Is there
it was
anybody
on
else
the
who would
agenda.
like to
Okay,
give
I'll
public
just
comment
conclude my
tonight?
comments to saying that her reluctance
Is there
to
anyone
sign
else?
the affidavit.
Could we please turn off the
At
mic,
least
Jim?
these
We're
meet-
finished with Mr. Sherry.